Shafiqah binti Rashid. My metric number is 03 DPR1 EF2071. Today I would like to present for our group, which is our group choose company Starbucks Coffee.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatim Farhana binti Muhammad Fauzi. My metric number is 03 DPR1 AF2032.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Amira Shafiqah binti Ramzi and my metric number is 03DPR18F2027.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shamimi binti Muhammad Nur. My metric number is 03DPR1F2076. My part is industry environment, bargaining power of supplier, competitors action and general environment. Thank you.
Starbucks has coffee shops all over the world. There are more than 28,000 locations in 76 markets, from Shanghai to Guantanamo Bay. And in China, a new Starbucks location opens up every 15 hours. But there is one continent that seems uninterested in the hype over the Seattle-based coffee chain. And that continent is Australia. It's proven to be one of the toughest markets in the world to break into. So tough, in fact, that Starbucks closed more than 2/3 of its stores on the continent back in 2008. So what went so wrong with Starbucks in Australia?
Background of company Starbucks. Starbucks Corporation is an international and American global coffee company based in Seattle, Washington in 1971. The largest coffee shop company in the world with 20,891 stores in 62 countries. President and CEO of the Starbucks, with his Owen Shizens, place a high value on ethical behavior and company directions. Starbucks is the largest coffee and shop company in the world. From Starbucks founding in Zealand, a local coffee house, roaster and retailer, the company has grown exponentially. The original Starbucks opening at Pig Place Market in Seattle, Washington in 1971. This Starbucks logo is inspired by the science fiction, a twin-tailed siren from Greek mythology. Global marketing coffee industry for Starbucks. The global coffee industry has been experiencing crises of low coffee price and generally low probability in the wide value chain. This had led to coffee farmers, mostly small scale entrepreneurship in Central and South America to include, yet there are so as supporters to be breaking even. The evident lessons process of coffee was a result high of supply of coffee in the market. With this excess supply, quality of the green coffee went down. This not only posed problem to the producer but also industry players including Starbucks Corporations, which is a global leader. With cheaper and low quality of coffee in the market, competitors of Starbucks capitalized on this so that in the long run there were low sales of Starbucks store. Several challenges also companies that internal coffee crisis, consumer feeds had less insignificant benefit in the world coffee value chain. This structural problem needed the world industry players to put together an industry strategy to check on the guides and increase quality of defecting coffee in the market. Next is Starbucks growth strategy for marketing global, which is Starbucks being the world premiums, roasted and retailer of coffee has a long-term strategy of being the global leaders in the coffee industry. The company's growth strategy has enabled the company to spread to over 50 countries as indicated in 2009 financial report. The company has achieved their positions as a global leader and respected coffee brand through the good business plan of the store level efficiency, being innovative in their product. Strategic channels of distribution, great customer experiences in the retail store, and build of strategy linkage through licensing of different store and joint ventures. Starbucks Corporation actually approaching the strategy management strategy for increasing the shareholder value through. Like any other multinational, it has experienced different challenges in several locations, which the past has been evolved to in the stand of downsizing by closing the several stores put in the US and the international market, including Australia. Downsizing is a strategy move usually designed to add value to the shareholding in the long run, but mostly viewing by the customer and the other industry players as a failure of an industry internationally. With the aggression global expansion strategy and the concept of market blanket, Starbucks has boots to meet different challenges as much as it's again in other geographic locations.
I will start with challenges facing Starbucks globally. Global expansion of its own poses challenges relating to the political and legal factor, economic trend in different states, competition from local firms, consumer preferences, technological challenges, and social culture issues. Starbucks, like any other commercial corporation, also do have an overriding goal of adding stockholder value through remaining profitable. This brings the strategic decision making accurate into focus. All strategic decisions are arrived at after a rigorous process of evaluation of internal and external environment with all strength and weakness. The company's strategy is mainly to take advantage of its strength and be cautious on its weakness, hence it usually draws a roadmap into the company's future position. Starbucks India's strategy of being a global leader in the roasted coffee market has faced a lot of challenges, especially in being compliant to different political and legal environment. This is a challenge which has been achieved through their concept of strategic alliance, through joint venture and licensing of various global distributors. The Starbucks concept of serving high-quality coffee products has given the company of image of serving the economically stable member of society. This means that with high quality of state, the company will lock themselves out of mass market where all products are served. The economic abilities of different countries has made Starbucks to be limited by economic situation in different locations, since some countries like in developing nations spend Rm5 on a cup of coffee is impossible. This has limited their growth strategy. Different social cultural background globally has been challenges Starbucks has been facing. Different cultures have their favorite food and drinks. This puts Starbucks coffee, including their concept of great store experience, face challenges of iron leaven and resistance. Next is Starbucks challenges in Australia. Starbucks Australia is one of leading global segment. The Australian Starbucks has experienced a lot of challenges which lead to closure of several retail stores. An analysis of the cause of the closure reveals several challenges regarding the location of different stores, unprofitability, and low demand among other reasons. The following are some of critical challenges facing Starbucks Australia. The first one is poor marketing. The Starbucks Australia did not do a lot of commercial and expected to ride on their firm on the US market, leaving this critical business responsibility. Selling the high quality aspect of their coffee could have been very easy, but foregoing such important strategy responsibility was a failure on the segment management. Without aggressive marketing apart from the branding aspect, Starbucks just left the market to their competitors. Also, poor location of Starbucks store contribute to their poor marketing strategy. Most stores were located in non-strategic areas with low number of potential customers. This is another factor which greatly contribute to unprofitability of the store, hence had to be closed. The next one is employee motivation. Starbucks Corporation worldwide has been known to be one of the good employers, but the Australian segment has issue with poor staff remuneration, consequently experiencing a less motivated workforce. Maintaining a high-skilled human resources give a competitive edge to an institution, with scenario of having expected performing an initial local operation market penetration strategy without prior market experience in Australia. While the local management is later employed with low pay, the company is bound to face lots of turnover. Pricing policy. The Starbucks pricing policy should not be restructured to suit Australian market. The Starbucks price of different coffee products were perceived too high, and products were only purchased for leisure treat and not as a necessity drink. The pricing concept should have made even very local backup by an aggressive marketing. Next one is coffee product. The Starbucks product were perceived as international, and this gave the local market an illusion that the product were not their hands and necessary. Starbucks too, with a very nice corporate social responsibility, do not build attachment with the local community. And the last one is rapid expansion. With expansion as their corporate strategy, Starbucks Australia should have a localized approach which would have allowed for a market testing. It was not necessary for more than 50 stores to be closed, yet the local management should have known that a particular number of stores could have been optimum for Australian market. Uncontrolled expansion always can cause erosion of the shareholder fund, which make overall objective of expansion a full exercise. I will continue with recommended strategy for Australia. The Starbucks Australia challenges all strategy management problem with little business policy problems. Strategy management entails decisions which are unstructured and affecting the going concern aspect of the business entity. It is the role of the top management to make decisions after assessing their internal environment and also the external environment, which is usually to some extent very unpredictable. According to Harley 2004, strategy management decision for global corporation will always aim at maximum the profitability, consequently the shareholder value. This decision will always include expansion and, where necessary, downsizing of operation. Starbucks Australia segment would scale up its operation again if proper marketing strategy alliances, proper analysis of the industrial and general environment for the corporation is done by Australia. The following proper solution based on Porter's competitive forces model would most likely work for Starbucks Australia.
I would like to continue for the marketing. For the case of Starbucks Australia, it is a common fact that Starbucks' marketing concept of blanketing a location did not work for the Australian segment, showing that some unique Australian marketing is required. The blanketing marketing idea has been the key to market penetration by Starbucks, especially in the US market, but it is always good to appreciate that different environments require different solutions. For the Australian segment, it will be a nice idea if Starbucks will give it a try to the concept of the commercial advertising, since the most of its competitors have been doing the same. Australians' awareness of the Starbucks products should be increased through a more effective promotion, advertising, and marketing. Marketing through networking and customer experiences will only be supportive for the case of Australian segment, unlike the US segment. Starbucks marketing should be as creative as ever. Localizing its brand does not necessarily mean losing the original brand concept. Even a localized packaging concept should be viable to allow them a market penetration opportunity. For the strategy of Starbucks, Starbucks has been entering into strategic alliances in other countries. For the case of Australia, it will be more strategic to do the same. There are a lot of local coffee stores and firms which Starbucks can make a joint ventures, offer a takeover bid where necessary. This will make the competitive strategic partners of Starbucks. Trading under a locally registered wholly owned subsidiary for Starbucks not only can allow a local attachment and market, but it also spreads the business risk for the corporation, with the culture of Australians having more attachments to their own cultures, foods, and enterprise, coupled with the human tendencies of appreciating their own. It will be necessary that Starbucks should have any form of strategic alliance with a local firm. For the financial aspects, most of the Starbucks stores closed in Australia have not been able to break even in the business, showing that the cost management might also have contributed to the loss-making scenario. Starbucks Australia should also have a management change so as to align the financial management and cost control with the corporate strategy of expansion. The financial management aspect will enable Starbucks Australia an opportunity to develop a product mix that will allow the company experience increased sales with a low-cost production. The financial management strategy is always under every corporate strategy, hence for an efficient and successful project implementation, it is necessary to ensure that the company financial management strategy and team is in place. This team should have the relevant capacity and experience in the market segment where the project will be implemented. The bargaining power of customers. Customers are very critical for the success of any corporate business. There are the greatest test of products quality, with no grouping of customers to fight for their interests. They will only express themselves in terms of low and high demand. If the customer demand for a product is high, it indicates high quality and a very fair price. For the low demand of Starbucks products, the pricing and preferences quality have been the most contributing factors. Starbucks should therefore heed the customer feedback and try to meet their needs, hence they got no business being in the market.
Alright, next is industry environment. This is an environment under which Starbucks Corporation operate global and even located in Australia. This environment will constitute supplier, competitors, substitute product and new interests. Forsters are competitors force model in founded on the view of the firm within in its industry environment. Competitors are force fed by firm include supplier bargaining power, customer bargaining power, substitute trade, and fresh interest trade. Starbucks Australia has faced a lot all of these competitors for India's Australia market. Australia increased action are required to counter, which this force resulting in the down season of Starbucks Australia segment. The following remedial action will be necessary. Is bargaining power of supplier. Starbucks supply chain global is well established in effect. Failure to the for a corporate like Starbucks to maintain on the quality standard and fair pricing of its coffee will allow competitors and upper hand in the market. Starbucks Australia should consider an option for local suppliers so as to reduce of their cost of importing from the US. It will be cheaper if Starbucks can strategy and nego with local coffee supplier of our branding in Australia. It should also use technology to build a value chain relationship with a local supplier. This will even end up per hand in competitors and can even play a role as a major distribution other than retailing after then all is a major option in profitability. With the global presence of Starbucks will proper linkage with supplier can fact give them strategic advantage in the coffee business. Since the retail business has faced enough challenges, Starbucks should give it a try to competitors action which is instead of Starbucks is Australia market is a competitors differently like it. Currently the competitors offer customer has gone up and to some extent Starbucks is given in some market share to its competitors. Starbucks has faced a serious price challenges when it has been received as dealing or overpriced product. Third, the branding is relevant to high and the end market usually for the potential customer will be defined a chain to be a part of the client. Starbucks should be able to practice price and product differ to or development innovative product to fit to the low end market. It's clear the Starbucks should develop product that are low cost and that able to compete effectively in the local market. The product should have an image of the begin local perceived product and it should actually have Australian concept and its pricing. With a local cost of input and low cost local concept product by local brand or firm, I do believe that Starbucks will successful with competitors in Australia and definitely achieve its global expectation strategy. With the firm grip on the worldwide industry, Starbucks should be able to match profitable and competitors will not benefit from the economy of scale. The goal regions coffee exports and local Melbourne coffee will be local and small scale but the are taking a share of the coffee market in Australia. Consequently, Starbucks should be carefully of their action. Starbucks policy on great customer experience. Next is general environment. This environment which is outside industry will be include the political, population, social, global, and economic environment. Starbucks Australia is affected by the Australian government, corporate tax rates, and other regulation. But the major challenge of the institute has been political. Starbucks Australia should be take advantage to high percentage of the young population since the most coffee consumer are too young. The demographic spread intelligence did not favor until location of the Starbucks store. The variant store had be close to the low population in their customer catchment area. Population spreads therefore increased contribution in the location established of the Australian Starbucks store. The social between the Starbucks products and local communication industry is because Australian provision of Starbucks for as a foreign coffee brand should be recalled as a improvement on their demand. The economic environment is one challenges that usually pose that threat to demand of industry product, but for our case, these challenges is not the cause of Starbucks Australia problem.
For the conclusion, Starbucks Corporation Australia has downsized because of a wrong market penetration strategy coupled with operation inefficiency, which is a clear global preparation strategy of being the market leader, store level operation effecting and great customer expenses which would not work for Starbucks Australia. This called for a modernization operation strategy which will including effective market and promotion plan, proper financial management strategy, product differentiation, and necessary supply chain management. Global strategy need to leverage on cutting edge technology, compliance to the regulations on scheduling and employer welfare among other issues. So as to have successful executions, Starbucks Australia can turn around and turn it around need to be a based on blanking marketing strategy, but a relevant Australia segment operation